You don't need a six-figure salary to achieve financial freedom. In fact, some of the most financially secure people don't earn huge paychecks. They've just mastered the secret to making money work for them, and that's exactly what we're going to do. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can completely transform your financial life in just 6 months by following a clear month-by-month plan. It's the same blueprint that's helped thousands of people go from paycheck to paycheck to building real wealth. If you're at this channel, we talk about all things personal finance and self-development. Let's start. Month number 1. Have you first month ever heard of the ostrich effect? This is a psychological bias where people actively avoid information that makes them uncomfortable, especially when it comes to money. So if you think about it, you ever delayed checking your bank account after a weekend of spending, or ignored a credit card statement because you just didn't want to see? The damage is the ostrich affected action. Our brains convince us that if we don't look, problem somehow doesn't exist. The irony is that avoidance, actually, McKeston's worst stress builds up in the background. Small issues snowball into ones, and before you know it, you'll feel completely out of control. But the moment you face your finances, heat on some mythin, shifts clarity, less anxiety. What if replaces what's next? So this month number 1 is all about ripping off that band-aid, taking full control. Step 1 calculates your core for numbers. These are the only numbers you really need to focus on at this stage. The first is your net income, so that is the amount that comes into your bank account after tax. Essentially, your take-home pays. Second layer fundamental expenses, so your renter, mortgage, your bills, food, groceries, transportation, anything that is fundamental to your day-to-day living. Your future you, any money that is already going towards savings and investments. Third thing you need to know, and finally, your fun spending thiefening. That's left over for the little pleasures in life that make it that much more fun. This, when you start doing, is going to make you feel a bit uneasy. You might discover you're spending more on dining out than you realized, or that your subscription services are eating UPA significant portion of your income. This step knowledge is power and tool. See in the rest of the video, because what we're doing in month 1 is so foundational to make this process easier. Recommend using an app or a spreadsheet, ideally one that does the calculations for you and is really easy to use, because the last thing you need when you're doing something that feels like a chore is using a tool that McKissick. Even worse, you just won't do it. Less friction is key. If you want to use my intentional spending tracker, it's linked second month's worth of your fundamentalness. So if your fundamental cost that you calculated throughout month on as to 500, that's your target amount to savvy up. I know it sounds like a lot, but this one step alone moves you into the top percentile of people who actually take control of the money. A lot of people don't get to the stage not because they can't cut back, but because their brain fights against it. Humans are wired for immediate gratification, which makes saving feel like a loss. But Harissa, reframe. You're not depriving yourself. You're buying freedom. So for the next month, go all in. Cancel subscribe. You barely use cook at home instead of eating out. PS non-essential purchasing. Just know that this hit that you're taking in this month is temporary. If saving that amount in 1 month feels too aggressive, spread it out to 2 months or 3 months, but be honest with yourself. Don't use a stretched out timeline as an excuse to keep spending unnecessary base. The faster you build this, the sooner you break free from the paycheck cycle. Moving on to month 3, tackle bad debt and start building third month your emergency fund. Most people try to zavi and pay off debt at the same time, but end up spinning their wheels. That's likely because they treat all debt as equal and they don't know what to target first. We need to separate the types of debt out. Some debt, like mortgage or student loans, can be seen as good debt, and other types of debt, like credit cards, consumer loans, they're seen as bad debt. It's stopping you from moving forward and comes with a really high interest rates. So here's the plan. Rank your debt in terms of interest rate from highest to lowest. For the debt that's over 8%, prioritize paying off ASAP. In thought order that you listed, it's the fastest way out. How much should you put towards a step? Well, you've already calculated what you have left over from tracker you filled out in month OHNs. The number that you have left after paying for all your fundamentalness. Take as much of that number as possible and channel it straight into our high-end debt repayment plan. On Sayov, cleared out your high interest rate debt. Instead of paying down the rest of your debt, shift your focus to securing your emergency fund. This way, ager making faster progress. Start by saving 3 to 6 months of your fundamental expenses. So, if you have a stable job, aims for 3 months to start with. If your income is unpredictable, go straight towards the 6 months. But don't get stuck here forever. A lot of people pause their financial growth to keep stacking cash. Instead, in month 4, you want to start investing whilst building out the rest of your emergency fund. And by the way, this emergency fund needs to be easily accessible, but not too accessible. So the best place is a high interest savings account. It takes 10 minutes to set this You don't know what account to use. Watch this video right here on things to look out for when choosing. Don't laugh at how awkward I was in that video. It's one of the first videos I recorded on this channel, bet. It's a good one, so month number 4 start investing whilst you're topping up. 4th month, rest of your emergency fund. A lot of people think investing is complicated, risky, or something you do after you've saved for years. But the truth is that sooner you start, the more wealthy you will build. So first thing you want to make sure that you're maxing out your employer benefits. This is the easiest form of free money if your employer offers a retirement match. Contribute I-10 to get it. It's literally free money and a 100% return on your contributions. If you skip this, your money on the table. Step to open a tax advantage investment account where who invest matters just as much as what to invest in. So if you're in the UK, open up a stocks and shares ISA, that's a tax-free investment account. If you're in the US, it's both. IRA, that's a tax-free retirement savings account. You'll have different ones depending on the country. Thatcher and these accounts let you keep more of your gains instead of offloading them to tax. Step 3, invest in broad market funds. Keep it really simply. Don't need to pick stocks. In fact, most pros can't even beat the market consistently, so instead, invest in index funds and ETFs. They spread your risk across hundreds of thousands of companies. The S&P 500 alone has averaged 5% annual return over the last 20 years. That's the power of long-term investing. And step 4, keep building out your emergency fund. Without missing out on investing, you don't have to choose between saving and investing. You can do both. So at first you want to prioritize your emergency fund, then you might want to shift to 70% towards going towards your emergency fund and 30% going towards investing, then 50-50 Anthon. Once you've built up your emergency fund, you can focus 100% on wealth building. This way you're always moving forward, building security and growing wealth. At the same time, month 5, 5th month, increase your income. Every job should give you one of two things: a learning opportunity or an earning opportunity. We want both, but if you're jetting neither, you want to do something about it. Either negotiate a pay rise or start exploring better paying opportunities. In most cases, switching jobs is the fastest way to increase your income. And to really drive this point, I've got a video breaking down my salary year by year for the 9 years is spent in investment banking, and you'll see exactly where the biggest pay jumps came. And that's why I'm saying this. I fear underpaid or undervalued. Don't just wait for your employer to notice. Make the move that benefits you. And if you want to try something newly, create a side income, sells a skill, start freelancing, monetizes a hobby, or builds an online income stream. Even an extra $200-300 a month can massively speed up your set in investments. So that's month 5, increasing your income, and then we're on to month 6, automate, and 6th, month, optimize. Have you ever heard of decision fatigue? It's a psychological phenomenon where the more choices that we make in your day, the worse our decisions become. And by the time we get to the end of that day, our brains are so exhausted and so default to whatever is easiest, whether that's skipping the gym, ordering a takeout, or just ignoring our finances. And that's exactly why automation is one of the most powerful things that you can do for your finances. Is when you rely on manual decisions to save, invest, or pay bills, you leave room for inconsistency. Months you'll be on top of that, Anthon. Other months, when life gets busy, fall behind. That's why the secret of financial success isn't discipline, it's removing the need for discipline altogether. So in this month, we're doing 2 things. First, we're automating your entire money system, bills and fixed expenses. You want to set up direct debits for rent, for mortgage, for utilities, for insurance, for debt payments. This prevents late fees and also protects your credit score. Then to automate your savings and investments. Schedule automatic transfers to your savings, your investment accounts, your retirement fund, and you already know what you can set up in this stage back, as you've already figured out what your finances look like. You know how much you need for your fundamental living expenses, and so you know what percent you have available to be able to allocate towards your savings investments. And you want to pay yourself first. You want to put that into your own pocket before paying anyone else, Anthon. The rest is your everyday spendingus, a separate account or a card for your fund money, your daily expenses. This makes budgeting effortless, because when money's gone, you know that it's gone. Second thing you want to do is view and adjust your financial plan. Because your financial plan isn't set in stone. Your income changes, your expense shift, your goals evolve continuously. Check with yourself and ask yourself, are my automated savings and investments still aligned with my goals? Has my income increased? If so, can I increase my savings rate? The financial world is constantly evolving. New investment opportunities, tax laws, money saving strategies emerge all the time. So the more you educate yourself, the better equipped you'll be to capitalize on smart financial moves. To stay up to date, could always subscribe to this channel.